Ooh, 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 here we go again. Hello, lovely beings. This is Liz Grace Christie of Galactic Mythology, here with another Weekend Goddess Report. This weekend is extra special because it's my birthday weekend. And this year, I'm very excited for some reason. Last year, and for the past 2 years prior, I've been pretty low-key around my birthday, even when I turned the big 3-0. In fact, that year, my birthday fell on Thanksgiving, which I found somewhat odd because the last time that had occurred, I was turning 13. Talk about 13 going on 30 in real life. That was for all you millennials out there and your parents. You all get my reference. Whoops, getting off track. This is a goddess report. So what is going on this weekend, November 22nd through November 25th, besides my birthday? Well, there's a lot. Mercury goes retrograde on the 25th, which I went through great lengths of discussing in last weekend's episode. Go back and listen there because Mercury kind of stole the whole show last weekend. This episode, the leading actors are familiar faces. Does anyone remember Black Moon Lilith from episode 1? She's back, and this time, she is retrograde in the sign of Libra. The dark moon has been navigating the cosmic seas backwards since November 8th. She made it to the 11th degree of Scorpio and then decided she had some business left unfinished back in Libra. Along the way back, she made her way over the asteroid goddess Juno, transfixed in the early degrees of Scorpio. What is up with Juno in Scorpio? Curious? That's for later. Back to Lilith and her retrograde path. The dark moon re-entered the sign of Libra over the last weekend, which was November 15th through 18th. We must have been distracted by the light of that Taurus supermoon last weekend because Lilith made her passage from Scorpio into Libra over the weekend. But my goddess, did you all catch that Taurus supermoon? It was gorgeous, and hands down, the winner of the dance battle mentioned last weekend. Sneaky Lilith, though, crawling around in the shadows while everyone is distracted by the moon's glow. This weekend, Lilith is illuminated by the hearths of Vesta and her priestesses. These two polarities are meeting up within the 12th degree of Libra on November 23rd. Sorry, y'all. It looks like some male energy has something to interject here on our goddess report. And it's the sun. It's the sun in Sagittarius. Apparently, the sun has escaped the clutches of the underworld, aka the sign of Scorpio, and is gasping for airtime on this podcast. Well, we'll touch a bit on the sun and his influence over the lunar nodes this weekend, along with Mars over there in Leo, gassing up the lunar nodes as well, but not before we address Lilith, Juno, and Vesta. This is the Weekend Goddess Report, not the Weekend Male Report. Although I do hope that men are listening to this report. Men and women, along with they-thems, have something to gain from the goddesses. So let's get to it. It's time for interpretations. Juno, Juno, Juno. Let's talk a little bit about asteroid goddess Juno. What has she been doing over there in the early degrees of Scorpio anyhow? For starters, Juno moves pretty slow. She moves about as quickly as Pallas Athena does. Their orbits both within 4.5 years around the sun, with Juno's being slightly shorter around. Juno is moving comfortably at her own pace, within the first 10 degrees of the sign of Scorpio, a sign that symbolizes the underworld. I feel that Juno is indeed comfortable here, considering she had to banish a very dear and sacred side of herself to these shadows eons ago. What am I referring to? None other than Lilith. Lilith is the shadow of Juno, and in some ways the side of Juno where she is most dignified. Why? Because this is the side of Juno that is Inanna and Ereshkigal, the ancient Sumerian queen of Babylon. Feared for her wrath and admired for her beauty, a queen and an enemy to many, encompassing the full spectrum of the divine feminine, from its strengths through to its frailties. Juno is an empress, a divine ruler. She is in spirit with the Egyptian goddess Hathor, the mother bull, the one later to take flight with the rainbow wings of Isis, in an attempt to remember her beloved Osiris, a being who was lost in the underworld once upon a time. So, with all that in mind, we find ourselves back to the beginning, back to the early degrees of Scorpio, where Juno is currently residing. She's steadily encountering the parts of herself that were once lost. Now that the Taurus supermoon is out of the way and the sun is securely in the sign of Sagittarius, we can confidently see all that has been getting kicked up down there in the underworld. The pairing of dark moon Lilith Retrograde going off to encounter asteroid Vesta and her Vestal virgins shows a sign of restraint going on within the dark moon goddess. Lilith intends to meet Vesta and her posse with good graces and a peace of mind. This is a reckoning for Lilith, for she has come to finally speak her side of the story, and the virgins have ear to listen. Lilith and Vesta will meet up on November 23rd within the 12th degree of Libra, and meet again on December 1st within the 16th degree of Libra. This time, Lilith will be direct, not retrograde in motion. Lilith went retrograde back on November 8th, around the same time the lunar nodes went direct for about 3 days. That was around the time of the bucolic atmosphere. Remember from the weekend report for November 8th and 11th, talking about the feeling of innocence tinged with fear? I talked about Stephen King and how horror writers draw upon this tension to create novels. I suggest go listening to that episode for November 8th through 11th for a refresher after this one, because guess what? We're entering another portal, or rather, karmic pause, as was coined for that report. Yes, the nodes are reversing again, calling in all the spooky and yet whimsical essence of the word bucolic. The lunar nodes this weekend reverse late on November 22nd and early into November 23rd. Yay! Just in time for my birthday on November 24th. Oh, and to be clear, I work with the true node, as opposed to the mean node. Because why not? If they can calculate the true node in real time, then why not use it? At least that's the logic of Demetra George, someone I had the opportunity to learn from last December. And I'm sticking to her logic. So I work with the true node. And from the research of this report, I am starting to put together that lunar nodes do turn around and dabble forwards about every 2 weeks. It also appears that this lunar node reversal, or station direct, coincides with the first and third quarter phases of the moon. These square aspects, where the moon challenges the sun, symbolize crisis points, a fitting parallel in light to what we discussed in the November 8th through 11th episode, where the word bucolic became such a fascinating lens for reflection. Now let's talk about what I like to call the karmic pause. This happens when the lunar nodes station direct for a few days, momentarily halting their usual retrograde motion before resuming their backward dance through the zodiac. These pauses create a unique window of opportunity that aligns with the quarter square moon phases, key moments in the sky that occur about every 2 weeks. These are powerful times to reflect, change course, and actively rework the deeply embedded patterns in our personal circuitry. Think of this as a cosmic invitation to challenge yourself for the better. These moments encourage us to confront old programming, release fears, and integrate new perspectives. They provide us with a rare chance to pause, reset, and realign with our higher purpose. Keep these opportunities on your radar. They're pivotal moments we can work with to evolve consciously. All right, fine. Let's tap into the Sagittarius Sun and its role in supercharging the lunar nodes this weekend. The Sun will be activating the 4th and 5th degree of Aries. So for those of you with planets or points in the early degrees of fire signs, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, you're going to feel the burn, big time. Mars is sitting at the early degrees of Leo as well. He is partaking in this fiery trine shared between the Sagittarius Sun and the Aries lunar north node. Think bold energy, courageous action, and that go-getter attitude dialed up to the max. But that's not all. The Sun and Mars are also making a sextile to the Libra lunar south node. This is significant because it's happening right near where Vesta and Dark Moon Lilith are planning a celestial rendezvous, just about 8 degrees shy of an exact conjunction. So what does it all mean? This alignment is a cosmic call to action. The trine between the Sun, Mars, and the North Node is pushing us forward, helping us take bold steps toward our purpose with confidence and fire. Meanwhile, the sextile to the South Node in Libra offers a chance to reflect on the past with balance and grace. And let's not forget the influence of Vesta and Lilith. They bring along themes of truth, authenticity, and empowerment into the mix. Vesta, the keeper of the sacred flame, represents our inner vitality and devotion, while Lilith challenges us to face suppressed truths and embrace our raw, unapologetic power. So this weekend is all about forward momentum, creative sparks, and fearless authenticity. If you're feeling the heat, lean into it. Whether you're creating, reflecting, or simply embracing this fiery energy, it's the perfect time to ignite transformation. As we approach the shortest day of the year in the Northern Hemisphere, it's essential to nurture our inner vitality to stay motivated and joyful during the fall and winter months. Vesta, the Roman goddess of the hearth, symbolizes this inner flame, the sacred fire that resides in our hearts. She embodies the warmth and energy we need to sustain ourselves through darker days. In Portland, Oregon, where this podcast is recorded, it is known that the skies are gray and rain clouds are very common during this time of year. Therefore, harnessing Vesta's sacred flame is crucial during these fall and winter months where we hardly see the sun. Vitality is something that we can harness from the sun's rays, but it is also something that we can draw from within. Doing so by respecting our boundaries, getting enough sleep, and nurturing our body. Doing yoga, meditating, drawing, whatever creative expression, express yourself and take care of yourself. Remember, the flame within is a source of strength and warmth, especially when external light is scarce. For those in the Southern Hemisphere, nearing the longest day in the year, Vesta's flame can represent the abundance of energy and light. It's a time to honor the sun and harness this vitality, channeling it into growth and creativity from within. Regardless of your location, honoring Vesta's sacred flame within can provide the energy and grace needed to navigate the seasonal shifts. How do we keep our inner fires burning bright? How do we nurture them and keep them alive? Vesta, the keeper of the flame, embodies truth, honor, and dedication, serving as a bridge to the divine. This weekend, Vesta conjoins with dark moon Lilith, a force that symbolizes suppressed truths, offering a rare moment of clarity. Now is the time to speak clearly and with intention, always, but especially this weekend. Share your truth, trust your instincts, and keep things straightforward. Fire signs, Sagittarius, Leo, and Aries, naturally embody the essence of spirit, relying on instinct and leading with their guts. They have quick reflexes and bold hearts. Prepare for a dynamic weekend filled with drama, creativity, and forward momentum. It's a time for action. Create and let your inner fire lead the way. And I know this is a goddess report. However, this wouldn't be an astrology report unless I acknowledge the fact that Pluto entered Aquarius last Tuesday on November 19th. Pluto's all comfy and cozy at the critical degree, the 0 degree of Aquarius. And oh my goddess, Pluto in Aquarius is only amplifying the notion of forward motion this weekend. Pluto at that critical 0 degree is making a trine to the lunar south node in Libra. This means that the future is having the opportunity of meeting the past, somewhat similar to what is occurring between Vesta and Lilith this weekend. People from our past might magically reappear, and maybe you should listen to them. They're probably surfacing in your life to give you some sort of information that's going to help you along the way. It's worth listening to, even if the conversation just confirms the reasons for your boundaries towards that person. The facts are, the universe is here to support your truth and the truth of others this weekend. However, sometimes those truths need to be shared so that we can really get to the bottom of things here. And back to the underworld we go. Luckily for you and I, we got vitality on our side. Where are my fire and air signs at this weekend? You all are going to be the leaders through this darkness. Our earth signs out there might be feeling a little unhinged due to the fact that the only planets holding it down in earth signs right now are Uranus in Taurus, who is retrograde, and Venus in Capricorn. And I feel like they're pretty vacant in those signs. Uranus retrograde has been an energy we've been experiencing for a while. So this concept of electronic chaos, destabilizing from a central core level has been with us for a while. And then Capricorn is icy, very about public image. Venus is there. and she's just making sure all of her spreadsheets are up to date, that she's called everyone that she needs to talk to before she gets ready for traveling for Thanksgiving. My earth signs out there, I feel you. Lean on your fire and air signs this weekend to help you get through the tunnel. Also, might be a great opportunity for you to do things that are a little bit more thrilling, that are outside of your comfort zone. All right, beautiful souls, let's wrap up this week's Goddess Report. Thank you for tuning in and sharing your energy with me on this special weekend, my birthday weekend. If you felt inspired by these Goddess Reports that I've been producing, then for a birthday gift, I would really appreciate it if you engaged with my content, such as by leaving a comment, liking this video, or becoming a subscriber if you are not already. I also have a Buy Me a Coffee link down below if you feel inspired to support me financially. I'm also a practicing evolutionary and galactic astrologer, offering astrology readings on my website, galacticmythology.com. Now that that's all out of the way, I would like to remind you, this weekend is brimming with potential for growth, connection, and transformation. Trust the process, embrace the energy, and let your light shine. As always, take what resonates with you and leave all the rest behind. Until next time, this is Liz Grace Christie of Galactic Mythology. I'm wishing you clarity, creativity, and cosmic inspiration. Stay radiant, stay magical. See you next weekend, November 29th through December 2nd. Bye.